All right, let's get this pony going. Hey guys, I see you. I see everybody on my screen now. It looks a lot better. All right. Well, welcome everybody to MogTalk episode 13. It's Monday, May 18th, 2015, if you didn't know that. And tonight we're going to be going over something that might be a little bit what I call self-centered. Our discussion is going to be just on us, on MogTalk. And we want all the input you guys can give us as we discuss it, because it's really important for us to grow as a show with your suggestions. And, before we get rolling on that, how the hell is everybody? And that includes you too, chat. So you can tell us how you're doing. Adagio, did you get your computer back in order?
Still working on it. I got my computer for the most part in order. My main thing I still have left is to set up all my classes and like my skill sets and everything, because those all got wiped out. I only have my paladin and my archer set back up because I'm only using those at the moment. So it'll eventually work out. It's just I don't have the time to sit there and mess with all that right now.
I feel you, man. I've rebuilt my UI a couple of times, and it's just such a pain in the ass. Especially, I don't know what it is. When you level up and you have to redo all your skill sets, that messes me up too. Like when you change into a new job and it redoes all of your skills, that throws me off for the rest of the day for some reason. I have to figure out how to do it again.
Imagine having your UI completely erased and having to put it back in order.
I've done it a couple of times.
That sucks.
That's before I knew.
I've done it at least 6 times when I revamped my computer.
Yeah, because I just don't. At the time I didn't know how to actually save the UI. I know in your situation you couldn't save the UI, but it's kind of weird. Gilly, how's your car, man?
It's pretty good.
Really?
It's doing a lot better now, yeah. Did a lot of work over the week.
Did you work on it personally?
Yeah.
Nice. Are you a mechanic, or are you just like have some sort of savvy with it?
I'm pretty car savvy, actually.
I gotcha. I suck with it. I know there's an engine inside of it, and there's things that move when I turn it on. That's about it. Some things I don't even know if they really move. They're covered up with other things, so I just assume they do.
That looks right.
It looks good. Like I'm the guy
Did you
who like
check your blinker fluid?
Yeah. Like I open the lid to my car, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I really don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know. I have all of my family were really good with cars, so I never really had to even mess with it too much. But all right, so that sounds
so
like
you just let them take care of it.
Yeah, let them take care of it.
Mooching off of them.
It was so easy. It's like, oh yeah, they wanted to look at it, so all right, sure. All right, so we're all doing a little bit better this week than last week, definitely. I even have my mic working. So far, we haven't had any frame drops, which is extremely impressive. Last show, we started off with frame drops. So, everybody at their house, apartment, whatever, knock on whatever wood you can to support us in not getting frame drops later on. If we do get them, it's because someone didn't knock. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the news. And there's a little bit more than I thought there would be. And Gilly, I'm just going to go ahead and just charge into this because I'm kind of a little bit excited about some of it.
No worries. Take away.
All right, so the first bit of news that I actually want to go over is the contest that Square Enix hosted recently, which was Redubbed. The Redub contest, where they said go find some cutscenes and make your own versions of them. And I'm going to play a couple of those. Do you guys actually have those ready in your browsers by any chance? I forgot to tell you.
I do.
Yep.
All right, the first one I'm going to look at is The Beast Within, which is the Tonberry one. It's kind of a serious one. And so let me know when you guys got that queued up, and then I'll do a countdown, and we'll all hit play at the same time on it.
Oh.
Are you ready?
All right.
All right. We go 3, 2, 1. And basically, this is the Tonberry dungeon cutscene.
The Rancor. Lily? My son! Why are you here?
The Tonberry voice
summoned you?
fits perfectly, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then Nim.
Maybe it is a Scholar Quest. Is this a Scholar Quest? I thought it was not.
Yeah, it's the scholar.
I'm completely
quest.
wrong. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Can it truly be so? I was Surito Karito, before the sickness from the sea transformed me.
It's definitely better than what I was when I was reading the subtitles.
As their ears and noses began to atrophy.
Yeah, I thought it was Wanderer's Palace because
Their
that's all I
limbs were
associate
shorter,
Tonberries with.
and their skin.
Whoever did this is amazing.
Yeah, at least for
We
the
scholars
Tonberry.
tried to halt the spread, tried to find a cure. But in time, we too fell ill. Sympathy turned to fear, and fear to anger. Monsters, they called us. Abominations. Then you were once a man. They sealed the sick within the temple with magics. Tried to drown us. Tried to forget us. Though our bodies had been changed, our minds remained intact. But within every man...
He does need a little more variance between the two voices. They did sound like they're the same person.
Yeah, that's kind of the only downside to it. I mean, it was just one guy doing it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I too succumbed to the Rancor. Until you reunited me with Lily, my dearest son. Long has my mind been clouded with hatred.
Did he say Gilly?
The resplendent light of Lily.
Yes, Gilly Lily. Same thing, right?
Last
Emma, it's part of the dub
free.
contest that Square Enix did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Only 2 people really got voices in this, but
Yeah, like I said, all LFL are evil little Tonberries.
Tonberries are not evil, man. They're very nice people. You shut your mouth.
Hey, they're quite evil in other Final Fantasies.
Yeah. So what did you guys think about that?
I think he did pretty good. He didn't have much of a variance between the Tonberry and the Lalafell, but I mean, it sounded really good. It was better than anything I did.
Yeah, better than anything I could do. I mean, better than my old man voice at the end of Final Fantasy 1.
It was really well done. I actually do like really well scripted dubs.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sad we don't get to hear those voices at all, but if they hired that guy just to do all the Tonberries, I would be pretty content with that. And all the Tonberries have to sound exactly like that, right?
All the Tonberries sound the same because they all look the same. Is there something you're trying to say?
They do all look the same. They're exactly the same. I don't know what you're talking about. Some have scholar hats, some have wizard hats. I mean, I guess the evil ones could have the tss at the end of their voice or something like that. That makes sense.
Have a what now?
Like a tss. Every time they say something like, I walked away to the other side.
Oh, okay.
And then we know they're evil, right?
A little hiss at the end of the name.
Hiss, yeah.
Robot Slytherin.
Yeah. And yeah, so on that whole thing with the no frame drops that you just said, Emma, this next scene it seems a little bit choppy on the video. That's not us, fortunately, but it still, I think, is one of the better videos that won the contest. There's 3 total that won in each category, but this was my favorite from the comedy category, and this one actually goes over kind of what it would be like, or what it actually is like almost every single time Rama fights somebody, and they don't exactly look well equipped for the fight because of all the wonderful glamours that are out there. But let's go ahead and get this rolling. Sorry, Sir Dan, no song request yet.
Thine order betrays thee, servant of Hydaelyn.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do a countdown. We gotta stop. Let's go back. All right, we're gonna do a countdown. We gotta do a countdown, okay? You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Bikini babes, huh?
Yeah.
Of course. You knew that was going to happen.
Thine order betrays thee.
That's actually a really good
servant of
voice for
Hydaelyn.
Ramu.
Yeah.
Thou art the bringer of... Wait a minute. What in the 7 hells art thou wearing? I am Ramu, Lord of Levin, and thou intendest to fight me in that?
It's all glamour prism.
No, this
They're
is
the
horrible.
latest thing.
Glamour prisms? Thou cannot be serious. I spendeth my time with flying cabbages. I mean, looketh upon them. One of these days, I'm going to maketh a huge batch of coleslaw, and bringeth it to Ifrit's barbecue. But even these things looketh normal next to thine outfit. Doth this looketh like
I like it,
Costa
the
del
looketh.
Sol to
Yeah, all
thee?
the English.
Doth thou
my
intendeth
God, this
that
is so
we
awesome.
battle, or wouldst thou prefereth a round of beach volleyball? Thou art not even the first scantily clad adventurer to confront me. What happened to heroes dressing for the job they diddeth? What class art thou even supposeth to be? Or art thou a max-level beach bunny?
I want to level a beach bunny. That'd be freaking
A
awesome.
lot of people do.
A black mage soul crystal? I haveth no words. Verily, black mages once looketh like eggplants in hats and robes. But I am the Lord of Leven, guardian of the forest. Players seeketh to battle me for my formidable stable of ponies. Oh, how many ponies hath this Lord of Leven? And
get the
yet,
least amount of
for
ponies,
all I
actually.
haveth to offer.
So hard to
this
kill
is
in,
the
like, a
respect
death
thou
group.
showeth me? Two can playeth at that game. By the time thou comest to battle me, I will have glamoured my robe into the tightest subligar in all of Eorzea.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I would fight
That's
Rama like that.
freaking Awesome.
Yeah.
Rama's
I-
voice was really good. The girl, however, I could have probably lived without.
Yeah, the girl's
Yeah.
voice is kind of weird, but
That was like me making a girl voice. You're like, "Hey guys," da, 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 da." Like it's just horrible. Like if I did a girl voice, that was exactly how it would sound. It's okay. I mean, I think the
I think I
focus
did
of both
try
of
it.
those,
I
like
think I
both.
did try a girl's voice last night on my stream, and I think it probably sounded exactly like that. So.
Oh really? Well, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure they were like, "Man, you sound exactly like Rama. You have to go ahead and Ramu. You have to go You have to go in there, make the video right now." But they didn't give any other help for any of the other voices. It's just like, you got one person making one good voice for the video. But honestly, both of those are better than anything I could have done. So congratulations to those two guys and the other winners of the contest. And so you guys can kind of have a link to it if you want to look at these or any other ones. I just posted it there in chat, and I'll put it on YouTube as well so you guys can kind of see all the other submissions. They're pretty good. I would suggest waiting until after the show, let us go through our emotions of the show before going and seeing it, but they are definitely worth a view. All right. So the other bit of news I have, which is kind of like news, it's Eorzea Cafe 3, or Cafe, Eorzea Cafe leveled up to level 3 is exactly how they put it. And it's a cafe in Japan. Everyone kind of knows about it. Basically, what they did is they took some recipes, or entries for recipes, and any kind of food the Japanese players made up, and added it to the menu. And so Yoshi P was there. He did a presentation. Said, "Hey, we're going to throw this on our new menu. This is what it's going to look like." I mean, that's pretty cool. I think he's not only getting people or the community involved with the game, he's getting the community involved with his own cafe that he created for the game.
I don't know what that chocobo dish is, but it looks delicious.
It looks all right.
Rice and looks like gravy.
Yeah, it looks like gravy, rice and gravy, and corn. Maybe corn in there. But so I guess my kind of question on this whole topic here is, do you think any of these concepts similar to Eorzea Cafe would do well either in the U.S. or any other countries?
I would honestly say it'd have to be in a pretty well pop area, probably like California or Florida, places that have actually good fine dining, because you can't put it in like a suburban area because nobody's gonna eat it. Not to be rude or racist, but not a lot of
Racist
people
and suburbans? Okay.
Not a lot.
I think that's classist. I think was what you're talking about. By racist.
You kind of muted yourself there for a second, Gilly. What were you saying?
I was gonna say not a lot of people like take Asian food as their their number one to go to eat. You know.
But let's say it's different. Let's do. Let's say they may open up a cafe that was like a hamburger place for. I don't know what's an old Double Dragon hamburger place. Or some old school game like that. Would that do well, or would that? I mean, that would have to be in like L.A. or somewhere where it's like, oh, this is a cool hip thing we can go do. For some reason, I can't see Americans just saying, oh, all right, we're going to go to this place once a week, and that place continually brings in money.
Now, if it was like an internet cafe where you can like just sit down, play the game, order your favorite dish, and just sit there and eat, probably sell well.
Yeah,
Well,
you can play Final Fantasy 14 while getting Final Fantasy 14 food.
Isn't that essentially what they're doing over there? They have like the game set up where you can play it on the computers, and they have the food there too. So
Oh, do
I
they?
think it's just a
I
restaurant.
thought that they is it the oh okay, this is different from the restaurant. Is
Yeah.
it two different things?
I know. I think this is the same thing. This is the Eorzea Cafe. I don't know if there's anything different about it, but I mean, looking at a couple of these pictures, yeah, you would think they look kind of bad, but you know, I mean, they're trying to put images in there, and I think it looks really good. I don't think that you have a really good opinion on this, Weasel. But okay, maybe. Do you guys think it would do well in like the Mall of America or Chicago?
Oh, that probably might. Yeah.
Because it
'Cause
really
New York-
is just
New
kind of a
York-
niche
yeah.
thing.
Because like New York is a pretty high culinarian place too.
Yeah, I mean New York. Because you know, I would like to see something that's like a Nintendo cafe over there as well. I know they have the Nintendo store, but they should have like a shop. And there's a couple of video game bars and restaurants out there, but to specialize it into one game seems kind of brave. At least in America, that would seem brave. Maybe in
Yeah,
Seattle.
we're getting a bunch of people in chat saying it'd work good in multiple locations. I mean, I think it's a niche market. I think if you put it in the right spot, though, it would do well.
All right. Well, once that happens, you guys will completely prove me wrong, but I think all of you guys are incorrect. I just don't see it happening. It'd be cool for like a month or so, but it would go out of business probably within a year or two.
Put it in the middle of Houston, Texas.
Oh, I'm sure Houston, Texas would love this. Not to say anything bad about Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is great, guys. I've only been there once. Okay, so the other bit of news that I have, and before I go on, I do want to make sure that I'm providing links to you guys so you can go and look at this stuff yourself if you want to. Here's the actual post, and you can actually see all the pictures they have there, not just the select few that I picked up because I thought they looked cool. Apparently, they don't look as cool as I thought they did. But going on to the other bit of news that I have, they released the PowerPoint slide that Square Enix did for their year financial report. And I thought that was kind of neat. We can obviously see that A Realm Reborn, as we all kind of expected, proved to be a major factor in recovering a lot of revenue for them in the year. And in case you guys don't completely understand how the business quarters work, the business quarter ended, I think, March 31st. Is that correct? Because it doesn't end at the end of the year. It ends at like right before taxes.
Yeah, fiscal New Year. It's kind of like with retail. Like they always end like the beginning of spring or end of spring, I think.
And so that's just something to kind of look at. And these guys, this is right now one of their most successful things that they're doing is A Realm Reborn. So that being said, do you guys think, since it's such a big success, that they're going to start putting, like Square Enix themselves as a company is going to start putting a lot of focus primarily on Final Fantasy 14? And I'll start with you, Gilly. Do you think that they're going to kind of switch off to that?
I hope they don't, because a lot of the handheld RPGs that they've released have actually been really good. On top of that, too, they're publishing Tomb Raider and all the other good games, too. So I really hope they don't stick to just Final Fantasy since it's a cash cow right now. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, yeah, a lot of their AAA titles take a lot of work to actually make, and I don't think they get as much result revenue-wise as they do from an MMO like Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, because they don't need to make content; they just need to sell subs. That's pretty much how the game rolls in the MMO world,
Yeah.
as far as money goes. Because if you have like, well, how many players do we have? Like 600,000 people or something like that, buying time cards at like $15 a month, that tends to add up after the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that maybe they see it such a big opportunity that they're going to start saying, all right, well, let's put even more content out there for it and push even more into this game instead of making instead of making Final Fantasy 16, however many years it would take for them to come out with that, they'll delay it out a year or two and put effort into making just content for Final Fantasy 14. Adagio, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think they're going to put a lot of more focus on Final Fantasy 14 than they have before, now that they see how great of a response they've had from it?
Well, I mean, they have multiple teams working on multiple projects, so they have their 14 team, and that's all that they do. They're not going to take someone, because they're doing Tomb Raider right now too. They're trying to get the second one out. They've already established that it's going to come out, so they're not going to pull someone off the Tomb Raider team to work on the Final Fantasy 14 team. It's just not going to happen. Maybe they'll bring more people in to work on the 14 team, but I don't see them ripping off of other projects to do 14. I do see them focusing more on 14, maybe because they are making a decent amount of money on it, but I don't think they're going to stop on producing everything else.
Okay. So you guys don't think any of their other IPs are going to get damaged from this kind of news, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely see. I think everybody's looking forward to 15 right now. God, I hope that runs a little bit better than 13 did. 13 was kind of... I don't know. It didn't get as good.
It was okay. Come on.
It was, but
it was better than I didn't give it the proper chance my first time through, but I played 13 too and really enjoyed it a lot, and I'm going to think about going back and playing 13 again to give it a try. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to eventually hit it, but it might be a couple of years from now. At the rate I'm doing Final Fantasies right now, it took me 5 weeks to beat Final Fantasy 1, so...
What Final Fantasy are you at right now?
2? I haven't even started 2 yet. I just finished 1 Saturday.
Are you going to play all the different variations, too? There's a Final Fantasy
I don't think
3.
I am yet. I might go back and do that, but, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. The variations don't really start until 4, right?
3, and then I think they did a remastered of 3 where they altered the story a little bit on the Game Boy Advance, I think.
Well, I probably will play whichever one's altered instead of playing the original, because then, I don't want to go through the exact same game twice, just with a little bit more story to it.
But there's an hour more story.
I'll do the hour more story, but I won't go back and play the original.
He said he's going to do the newer version of the original.
Well, you got to see the original first.
No, I don't. Screw that.
Come on.
It's just like he played the newer version of Final Fantasy 1. He's not going to go play the old school version.
Yeah,
you gotta feed our company. Come on.
If I went and played Final Fantasy 1, the same exact game with different graphic layouts, I would kill myself before the end of it. It took me so much determination to actually get through Final Fantasy 1 because I had no clue where I was going at all, which is a complete different variation of Final Fantasy 13 where they're go down this hallway. So I played the extreme opposite of it, and it was kind of weird. But
are you also gonna play the spin-off games too, like Last Remnant and all of that too?
I don't know anything about Last Remnant. Is that actually related to the Final Fantasy universe at all?
No, it was kind of like a new take on kind of a new RPG element. They wanted to stay away from the Final Fantasy with that one.
Okay, I'll probably just stick to the core numbers for now, and then we'll see how it works out. If I really like 4, maybe I'll go into the After Years one that they just came out with or something, but we'll have to see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and skip past this because we got off topic a little bit and talking about Final Fantasy Saturday drunk streams that I have.
Go south.
Go south. All right, and also, let's see, if you guys want to see more information on the financial aspect of everything, and by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, I am going to have all these links posted in the description for you guys to look at if you'd like. This is actually a Reddit post, and I want to make sure the person who posted that kind of gets credit for it too. And in the comments, they have more information. You can go into details with all the slides and information they provided for their financial year. But the next little bit of news that we had was, they did something kind of weird. So last week, they had the initial patch, and then they did an emergency maintenance to increase the Poetics cap from 450 to 900. I think this was just something they forgot to do or something in the patch, and they're like, oh crap, let's correct that real quick. And they added it to it. What do you guys think about this? I mean, does it really even matter since the expansion is coming out within a month?
I think it's kind of late. They should have done it with the recent patch, to be honest, so people can actually start farming all their gear for all their alts and stuff. I actually saw a Reddit post of a guy who had all 78 pieces of Dreadworm already. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's kind of pointless at this point, but if it gives people something to do, then do it.
I mean, I've never capped. For the past 3 months, I haven't capped my 450 because I just like, what's the point? I can go in and just kill turns and grind on that. But I mean, I guess people who don't have access to groups to actually do that, they can go and get extra gear. I guess that helps them prep for the expansion, but it still seems like it's completely unnecessary, seeing how that gear is going to be irrelevant, most likely within 3 levels. Adagio, do you think that it's important at all?
I'm honestly surprised that they just didn't completely unlock it fully. I don't know why they limited it to 900. It seems kind of weird. And yeah, like you said, I've not been capping my poetics for the past 2 weeks now, and that's something I've been majorly doing. I think it's nice for people that are still struggling to get up to their top gear level, and they really want to get that 130 gear before 3.0. Like I said, I just don't know why they didn't completely unlock it. It seems weird that they wouldn't, because I mean, at this point, poetics is essentially going to be useless. So why not let them get it when they can?
Yeah. Well, I mean, then again, and Atari kind of brought up a point here. It's kind of for casuals that don't raid. But at the same time, if you're grinding out 900 poetics a week, you're not a casual grinder, I guess. So maybe it's for crafters who are really good at grinding things up every single week.
So wait, it's capped at 900. They didn't uncap it.
Right,
it's capped
exactly.
at 900 now.
Damn.
They
it's
essentially
weird.
just doubled the cap instead of removing it completely.
They should have just removed it and let us farm
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. It's weird that they did that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, that's what it is. I guess they just wanted to give somebody out there who felt like they were being held back because they had a 450 cap. They don't feel as held back now, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Chucky says that poetics will be relevant in the expansion for at least 4 weeks, and I really don't think that's plausible, because you're going to be getting dungeon gear at that point, and the dungeon gear is going to be better than poetics gear, and you're not going to get a new tombstone until 4 weeks after the expansion. So I don't really think that's a good point.
Oh, you just got fired, Chucky.
Sorry, Chucky.
You got fired at. No, I mean, I kind of agree. I don't know. Maybe it will be worth something, but he's saying craft mats. Maybe you can actually make mats out of them going forward in the future if they unlock that. Maybe.
I wonder if they will make crafted gear a lot stronger than the dungeon ones again.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, I'm still at the conclusion that it's completely worthless, and I feel like they're just trying to throw some random person a bone. I don't know. All right, so let's jump into the next bit of news we have here, which is the Heavensward pre-order codes. Players can begin entering their Heavensward pre-order codes to get early access to game codes. It doesn't apply to people who bought the bundle, though. So if you bought the bundle, you're kind of, out of luck for right now. Early access, of course, begins at June 19th, and then you can actually play the game on June 23rd. And this is going to be kind of a two-step process. Going from the pre-order site, you get a code provided, when you bought Heavensward. Then you go to the site, then you're like, okay, now I enter in the code, and now I'm accepted for the early access. If you bought it at GameStop, here's another situation. You bought it at GameStop, the code is on your receipt. If you bought it on Amazon, you actually have to wait till June 19th to get the code. And that's pretty damn goofy. And then it's going to be emailed out to all those people who bought it from Amazon. If you buy it directly from SE's online website, you get the code immediately. So you have all these different places where you can actually get the code, but depending on where you buy the game, depends on how efficiently you're going to be able to take care of your early access.
Yeah.
That's so silly. And then, once you redeem the code from the site, you can go into MogStation and enter it into your account there. So it's kind of, they're putting all these little bits and pieces that don't seem completely necessary into the equation. And if you bought it from Steam, you don't really know when you're going to get early access. They said that they should be giving out early access to everyone who got it from Steam, which is me. That would suck if I couldn't get into the game on June 19th. I'm going to be irate.
You're locked to Steam.
Yeah,
If
I'm
you
locked into
want
Steam.
Frosty, I will hook you up with a beta access code.
A beta access code so I can play beta. I don't want beta access
Or
code.
you want an early access code.
I mean, maybe we'll see. We'll
It
see how
won't
it
hurt.
works
It
out.
won't hurt. I mean, I can just give it to you. It's not like
Okay.
I'm coming out of pocket for it.
But is that for Steam though? Will that actually work for me?
It should, because I mean, you're just going straight to the Mog station. It's going to be the same code.
Well,
I don't know.
Steam and the Mog stations are exclusive from each other. You can't
think
mix
so.
them.
Really?
If you're
Yeah,
paying
I
off of
appreciate
Steam,
it,
you have to
but-
pay through Steam Wallet. You can't pay through the Mog station.
Well, if you just redeem the code for... Well, let's put it this way, because you still have to go to the same website to get your redeem code to put into Mog Station, right?
No, he
'Cause
doesn't.
that's how I did
Right.
mine yesterday.
If you're on Steam, you don't. Mog Station's not even involved. Everything is through Steam.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah. it's-
So I'm guessing you have to have a specific Steam activation key, and therefore I don't think your premise will work, Gilly.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Huh.
wish it would, but I think that there's going to be a lot of issues with it. They said that they're working to get the Steam part of it fixed, but they have no timeline, no information on it. Just they said you should be able to get it before June 19th. And so they said to keep checking this post here for everyone who has Steam to see when you're actually going to be able to play.
I guess I'll be giving the 10 codes away to non-Steam users.
Yeah, you have to make sure you give it away to non-Steam users. And what I want to talk about here is how the hell is this such a mess, man? I mean, they have games everywhere, but why is it so damn confusing? Why can't they just put it all together, say, all right, you have an account, you upgrade your account. If your account's upgraded, it doesn't matter where the hell you log into, you're still going to be able to log into it.
It all has to do with activation codes, and I'm sure, like on the producer side, I mean, they had to. I guess they probably had to change it somehow to get it onto Steam. So therefore, that's specific to that. Like I know if you buy the original copy on Steam, you can't go buy the next copy from the Mog Station or
Which is
from the
weird.
market. You can't buy it like the physical copy and attach it because it won't work. You have to actually buy the Steam copy. So there's some kind of reason that it is separated. I'm guessing it's probably a programming thing. I don't really know why.
I mean, my understanding was you have the game in Steam, and Steam just launches it. I mean, that's kind of the thing. It launches it, it has its own little overlay, but it doesn't, do much more than that. I don't know. It seems silly to me.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I love Steam. I have a bunch of games on Steam, but I'm very, very happy I do not have Final Fantasy 14 on Steam because it seems like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, right now I wish I wouldn't had it on Steam. I don't know why it's so ridiculous for them to just... I don't know. I'm not going to get too much more into it. I can get irate with it and talk about it like I do triple trad tournaments, but we'll leave it at what it is. I'm sure there's something way more difficult than what we actually see going on, but that doesn't stop me from being a little bit upset.
Yeah, it's just weird that Steam has to be the middleman in order for you to get to early access.
Yeah. And if you guys have your pre-order codes, you can go here, I believe, and get them actually activated. And again, I'll provide those links for YouTube users in the description. So, the last bit of news I kind of have for us tonight is, Final Fantasy XIV is being a little bit more kind to us about character creation. It's a little bit odd. I mean, if you're looking to create a character on a specific server, Square Enix Lodestone will actually now tell you when you can do that. There's a list that's updated in intervals, which is 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 6 p.m., and 11 p.m. And when you go to it, it'll have O's or X's next to it. If it has an X next to the server, you can't create a character. If it has an O next to it, you can create a character. I mean, and this, again, seems kind of odd to me. Let me go ahead and link this for the people who want to actually look at it. So, basically what Square Enix is doing is it's creating a lock to its servers, then it's giving the players a key to it, and this only really filters out the people who don't know about it or care enough to go through the trouble of getting on a certain server. Do you guys think the system's just a little bit odd?
It's been odd since the start. I mean, ever since they had like character creation lockouts on specific servers at specific times, I'm guessing through peak hours. That's been weird. I mean, there's no. I mean, unless like the servers are completely full during peak hours, I don't see why there's even a lockout. Honestly, I mean, you should be able to make it whenever. But I mean, I think the system that they're putting in place is nice, so that people that want to get on a specific server can know exactly when they can. But I predict that now that they have this tool, those open times are going to get flooded with people that are trying to get on that server. So we'll see how well that works out.
Yeah, and Gilly now is on the opposite bandwagon he was on earlier. And he's saying go make characters on Exodus right now. Depends on the day of the week you catch him, I guess.
Exodus sucks. Go join Exodus.
I will give you 1 mil.
1 mil. Okay, everyone that comes to our
shit.
server, Gilly's going to give you 1 mil. Track him
Can I
down.
make a second character and start a new character on
No.
Exodus?
By the way, his in-game character is Gilly Valentine, so feel free to go ahead and go in there and spam him about it. I just got you, man. Okay, so, I mean, I guess what could they do to improve this? I mean, what I think they could do is just simply say, hey, people who are on these full servers, give them the option to do a free transfer to something that's a smaller server. And if they go to a smaller server so they can go with their friends or whatever, it opens that server up more for other people who want to go into it. I mean, that seems like a simple solution, right?
Yeah, I mean, like other games have done it where like you can go from a high pop server to a low pop server for like free. Whereas if you're trying to go the other way, they charge you. I don't know if that's the same way with Final Fantasy. I don't think it is. I think
They still do.
they charge you either way. But yeah, that's kind of like an incentive for like people on high pop servers to go to the lower pop server. Oh, we can transfer for free, and this server kind of sucks, so let's all go to this low pop server and blow it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's worked well for other games, so I mean, I don't know. I think Final Fantasy's doing it okay. They're not having too many problems, I think.
You know, there's this weird thing that WoW did once, and of course we're going to go back to WoW and talk to them about them a second. I was on a PvP server, and the way they got people off of that server is they said, all right, we're turning it to an RP server, guys. You got 2 free transfers to these other 2 servers. And you could go there, or you could get onto an RP instead of being on your PvP server.
You hear all the RP people. Oh, thank God. Thank you. Get me out of this hellhole.
Yeah, it's just so ridiculous. Yeah, it was such a ridiculous thing. Well, I mean, like, it was a PvP server, and they turned it into an RP server. So it scared off all the PvP players.
PvP, yeah.
Gotcha.
It was so weird.
Yeah, I don't know how people RP. I mean, I think it's cool. I think they're awesome for being able to do that. I could not do it. I couldn't stay in character that long. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I have enough issues in real life to kind of deal with. I don't need to go into a different kind of fantasy land and pretend I'm in a different part. But at the same time, that's not demeaning to that. I mean, this is something that people enjoy. Like, if people want to go outside and LARP, I would love to go outside and LARP. If you guys wanted to go and hit me with foam swords, let's do it. I'll throw paper balls at you, and you can think it's a fireball. Same thing with just going and play basketball. It's just whatever you want to do to have fun.
I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad about it. I think it's pretty.
We
great.
caught
It's
you,
just that-
Adagio. You're an asshole.
No, it's just like sometimes you just need to ask a question straight up, like, "Hey, what do I do with this, and how do I sell it somewhere?" Like, "Oh, wait, no, that's not. You don't say it like that. You gotta do this fanciful wording." I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't
it's
do all that.
eggshells everywhere, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, more power to them, but I can't do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is actually all I have for news this week. Did you guys hear anything else that I haven't heard of? I think that's pretty much it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty good still for what we've had still in the lull before Heavensward.